Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.
Good evening.
Good evening. I had to practice. I did. Good evening, guys. Good evening.
Because you quick to say good morning.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
I was about to say.
Hey,
everybody.
Let me go ahead and do my test.
Yeah, I have to
quick.
do it too. I have to remind myself to do it right in the beginning.
How's your evening? How was
Here we go.
420, guys?
Oh, it was amazing. I enjoyed myself, baby. I had a time. Not just last night, the night before, too.
Who was that?
That
That was me.
was smart. Hi, Kimberly.
Hey,
So while we in here, Brooke, how was your weekend? Let's check in.
Oh, my gosh. For one, my week was hectic, okay? Anyway, I celebrated 2 years being cancer-free.
Hey.
Wrong button.
Let me find out. Let me find out.
You hating on? How you hating on? Hating on life, right?
Don't hate on me, them fat ass fingers.
Get your fingers together.
But work has been perfect and excellent. I love my coworkers. I love my job. My daughter got strep throat, and I was so pissed at her dad because she was with him. And
she had it for a couple days before you found out she actually had it?
Yeah, that's why she got scarlet fever now. Yeah.
Oh, she got scarlet fever.
Yeah,
I ain't heard that since my sister was
was
the only person I know in the history
so you
to have it, and she had it twice when she was younger.
That means it was bad. It got to a point of the infection spreading and her body trying to fight it off. So
she got the little red bumps.
Well, they're not red. they just
little bumps. Okay.
Friday we had a game night, which was fucking awesome. Oh my gosh, I had a ball. Yesterday we went to the Fuse event. Shout out to Winnie. That was the shit. Everything was the food was delicious, by the way.
Yeah, it was good.
That food was good.
It was good. I had to slow down. I had to put my plate, power the plate up, and then I remembered it was infused, and I was like, oh, I wasn't supposed to power the plate up.
I would have piled it.
I still piled it. I still ate it.
I ate it. It was high as hell.
Yeah.
And listen, I was sitting there and I said, why am I so high? Oh, shit. I ate all that food.
Yeah.
It was gone. They had cookies.
They came to see me yesterday, like, everybody eyes low, like, yeah, okay. Rub it in.
We was high as hell.
We
had, of course, shout out to Mama Nandi. We always going to come up and show up a little bit, Shout out to her. And it was a good week. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my weekend off.
How was your week, Shayna?
It was good. Okay, let me roll it.
Trying to remember.
Come on.
Days be going by. Like, I spend a lot of time just in the house because I work from home.
She ate a lot of food, y'all. Remember, it's still working.
Yeah, I ate a lot of food.
The 420.
Oh, yesterday, yeah, I did eat a lot of food yesterday. My brain still recovered. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was a good week. Was outside a couple times. The sun. Got some chance to ground and put my feet out in the grass. Grass got cut yesterday, so
okay.
I'm looking forward to warmer weather.
Yeah.
420 was good. Yeah, I spent most of it smiling.
Yeah, all of it smiling. I've been smiling since I don't know when. I can't stop.
Yeah,
still smiling.
420 was cool. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good week. I go to New York next week.
Turn up.
Yeah, for my niece's birthday.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah.
Safe travels when you go. I'm
gonna try to
hello Brooklyn. How you doing?
So I'm going to upstate New York, so I'm not even gonna be near the city.
Well, you can still say hello, Brooklyn.
I can take a trip every month. Seem like she leaves.
I didn't go nowhere in March.
No, it's every 2 months.
I went every month. I went somewhere in January, somewhere in February. I just didn't go nowhere in March. And then I'm going next week. April is New York, and then May I'm going to Jamaica. And then
June, figure the rest out.
Yeah, I figured the rest out. June is my son's birthday, so he wanted to take a trip.
All right, so let me know because I'm coming. We coming.
I'm gonna try to find some place like short, like quick to go to, like a little trip for him to go to. Yeah. How was your week?
Right.
My week been stressful. Yeah. At first, since I put that post up and I shared it, I shouldn't have done that, right? Only because
now you got to
yeah, it's because like people are personally like reaching out in my messenger and like my inbox all different type of hours and not reading, because I clearly said there wasn't any love. You can't hold the apartments, none of that, and it was just. Yeah, so having to repeat myself and the phone lines just, they constantly going, so I learned, how to turn them off. Sometimes you just, got to take a break and just woo
Those your lunch boundaries.
Yeah, because it's like, it can get a lot, like dealing with the maintenance and like doing office work too. It's a lot, but I was looking forward to Friday. Friday was cool. We had the little gathering, so that was like really, really, really good way to end my night. Like I got to laugh. Somebody came out.
Oh my gosh!
Somebody came out.
She's talking about the. Oh gosh.
The I like dick.
Oh,
but I was just playing.
She helped somebody reveal their truth. Listen, she helped somebody reveal their truth.
But like, so Friday was really cool. End up staying over there at the game night, waking up in the morning like, all right, time to go. Like, back to the road. Saturday. I was in the house majority of the day because my friends went to an infuse.
Girl, not her. Oh my God, wish she could have came.
My friends went to an infuse event, and so I stayed at home till like 11 o'clock. Then I, thought I would go shake some ass. So I ended up at 90s. Yeah,
right, so
I didn't get the 90s till like 11:30 because I still had to stop at the liquor store. So I had Chloe drop me off at like 11:30.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Oh, okay, but we still popped up on you.
They did come see me. So my night ended well, and I'm here.
Now you're here.
Yeah.
Now you're here.
How was your weekend, Mark?
Yeah, same thing. Busy as hell as usual. Out here being Batman in Gotham. You know what I'm saying? Saturday was though. I had my son's math B. He was in the district finals for his his grade, his school actually. So he made it to the championship round and then got out in his on the fifth problem in the championship round. He didn't win it, but he came in like.
But he got far.
He was like one of the last like 20 students out of damn near 100. So he definitely did good. And then after that. What was it? Went to West Coast Meds, our partner over there, our cannabis partner, and went to their event at their location. Had a lot of people out there, a lot of new products. I got my ass in the cookie cannon, and I barely got out. Shit,
Barely.
Because they double dosed me. They put 2 doses of the shit. They blew it 2 times on me. Yeah, so
I know your eyes was red because they get red on the blunt.
Yeah, and then I was smoking a blunt in there actually too. I was smoking a blunt inside.
You were smoking a blunt.
Yeah.
You wanted that, like what?
I did. I wanted all the smoke.
What type of? Yeah,
I wanted all of the smoke.
So did you walk on the clouds?
Yeah, I was definitely on the clouds. Left there, and then my little cousin's 21st birthday was yesterday, so the family was out at dinner with him at, Hook and Reel. And then he went to, it was good. That was my first time there. I don't eat seafood, so all I ate was chicken, but it was
They got chicken there?
Yeah, they got
You hear me? Chicken there?
And then after that, I was supposed to go to another dispensary event, but I just was so beat after that because I was going to leave Hook and Reel, go to another dispensary, and then my cousin had a party at the Titty Bar because he was his first, time to the Titty Bar. He was turning 21, so I missed the last 2 events. I was washed.
Yeah, I bet. Shit, smoking.
What bar you go to?
I don't know. I don't even know. He didn't know which one.
Because these hoes is tired.
It's older. Yeah, that's why I kind of wanted to go with him. His older brother.
For 21, you know what I'm saying? He needs to go,
his older brother. His brother's probably about, I don't know, 6 years older than him, so I'm sure you took him to somewhere where it would have been fitting, not grass.
So not the tire
He ain't
ones.
go to the grass key or no shit like that.
Where you taking the truth?
BC's?
I gotta ask him.
He probably went the truth.
I ain't been in a minute. I ain't been.
We should make a trip to a Titty Bar.
Just for
like
food.
you said, but
nah, for the strippers too. I like
that,
ass.
right? But it has to be nice.
It has to be nice.
I want to see some ass. If I'm gonna give my money,
nice.
Y'all are the Titty
I
Bar.
want to see.
Like all we need is some drinks and some music. And
yeah, but sometimes I want to watch ass. I don't want to be that.
I want to watch
the
some
ass all the
shake
time.
on
I want to
stage.
watch it. Yeah.
And what I do like when I do go to titty bars is a good performance.
Yeah.
Some girls get up there and just shake, but it's some girls that really bring that seduction.
I like the one cheek, two cheek. I like, to slow it down, the pole.
Well, I like the ones like
look me in your eyes.
You got to definitely get some pole.
Look me in my eyes while you dancing for me.
Oh, you want me to take yourself.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
That's a part of the show. Let's get to the topic today.
We getting in it today.
Woo! Yeah, it's about to get juicy. We lifting the rug. You know how the families like we sweep everything under the rug? Yeah,
we lifting it today. Yeah, we lifting it today.
Yeah, that rug.
Stop sweeping.
Stop sweeping.
We haven't got no
bring the dustpan out.
Yeah. Stop sweeping. It's enough.
We gotta sweep it from under the rug.
Get away from there.
Pick up the trash. Pick up the rug.
So lifting the rug. So
pick it up.
we're talking about lifting the rug today, and with this topic, naturally, so it's going to, it can be uncomfortable. That's what we're here for, uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah. It's going to
right.
be very
uncomfortable conversations create growth for us.
Yes.
Create space, and helps to like strengthen relationships as well. So, so we're talking about lifting the rug, and we had this topic on deck since the beginning. Actually, we just was like just trying to find time to do it when we were already, to be in that space of vulnerability with it. So,
and I think we got to a point, to where we're able to, be open and with each other, and also with everybody out there that's watching. And I can pretty much, I do want to say, give a little heads up, it can be trigger warning. Because we're talking about childhood trauma. We're talking about, everything that pretty much created us.
So
pretty much created
it's good
us.
that you said that as far as like that trigger warning for the people who are watching. Just holding space for that. It's important. Yeah. So starting off with what happens in this house stays in this house.
What is your definition of that?
Y'all heard that before?
Of course. What happens in here stays in here.
Like
my business is nobody else's business.
Nobody. And being a PK that went like double time. It was like twice as hard because it was like so much shit was happening. And then it was like you can't even go to church and tell the people in the church. It was like, you get in trouble.
So you had to keep what happened in church, huh?
Yeah, it was just like a lot of shit. It was like, okay. And then it was like when somebody get in trouble, the family drama, all of that. It was just said, if it happened here, it stays here. Don't go out, tell nobody
Ashley.
what's going on, but I believe that's what caused a lot of trauma, that saying alone.
Yeah. What happens here stays here.
Because you had no outlet. You had to worry about if I tell my truth, if I speak up, if I let it be an issue to any member or person outside this house, there's going to be consequences.
Even inside the house. I just feel like it was a way to just shut you down completely. Like you couldn't talk about it at all.
So do you guys think that was like the main intention is to shut you down? Like, do you think it was like some type of good intention behind that? Like,
it was like some stuff, could like be protected and not, go outside the home, but I was like other things that cause emotional trauma or things that was wrong, not being able to say that, because like it's like very broad because it's like, let's say your lights was out. And then it's like, don't tell nobody the lights is out. And so you're watching your parents light these candles, you know what I'm saying? And y'all coming home, staying out all day, coming home all night, phones charged up, and you in the dark. We would have went and told somebody, we probably could have got help. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody, we could have gave us the resources to maybe let's get the lights on. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, oh, you can't say nothing. It's like it was a bad thing, But it was like we need help,
I think it was a form of covering up embarrassment for our parents.
I think so too.
I can't say I don't think that was good for me as a child, is because it taught me like, oh, you're supposed to sit in this. And not go for help.
Solve the problem.
And not solve the problem.
And now you're avoiding accountability. That's what you're
and
you're
it's like,
your
don't
kids.
say nothing because I don't want people to judge me because you in here with no water and you in here with no heat. Yeah. But it's like, what are you doing to get heat and water?
I think what with that, I don't know if I know I'm agreeing with the embarrassment part. It's just to cover up the embarrassment. I don't know if I think when I heard it and when things like that happen, like I was one, like we didn't have heat. Like we didn't have heat. I remember from it was the summertime through the winter. Like it was like until the spring, I guess, the next time. But I didn't think of it like that's something that wasn't being done or wasn't solutions happening or whatever. I just figured it like, okay, we couldn't afford to pay this, or it's working on it, or they just saving up the money too. And so it's mainly was just like, don't tell anybody because you're embarrassed. Don't tell anybody because
not wanting to be
people
judged
judge.
from outside.
Yeah.
But see, it's a time and place for everything, right? Because that whole what happens in this house stays in this house. Sometimes it's plausible, right? Because we're talking about maybe daddy hit the lottery for 10 racks.
I mean,
we're not about to go out.
But it was never used for that though. It wasn't ever used for good stuff.
Right now, what we not
90% of the time.
Yeah, but right now, what we really talking about us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't told. I wasn't told. Somebody hit the lottery.
I was just saying, but majority of the time, and I've never experienced the good side of it.
Yeah, because they don't say it for that.
But it was the bad stuff. You know what I mean? Because they didn't want to be embarrassed or judged.
Or then like not even like saying that gotta stay in the house, like because what happens is like what happens in this family stays in this family too.
Yeah.
That's when like the family curses and all of that, family issues, family problems. Those has been like. Abuse in my family has been, whether it was sexual or whether it was physical, you know what I'm saying? That's always been swept up under the rug. You know what I'm saying? Punishment where it's like, you can't tell nobody, what's going on inside the house. And if you speak, and they get back that you said something, the ass whooping was even worse. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like,
see, in my family, I don't think my family even knew what was going on inside my house. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like literally my mama was very secretive. So like a lot of people in our family didn't understand until they came over and was like, damn, like this how
that's
y'all
how
living?
ours was.
Like this is how it is. But it's like, when I say like I know my mom had the resources. You know what I'm saying? She could have reached out to our family and got assistance and stuff, but her, I don't want to say her pride, but whatever it was, it fucked us up. You know what I'm saying? Because in that time frame of being children, that's when you're taught how to clean and all this stuff, and not having no structure at all inside of our household, but wasn't able to be free or tell people like, well, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live in this. I want to take a shower. I want to take a bath, but it's like, no, use this pot, warm it up, go put it in the tub, wash your clothes in the tub. You got to make sure they're good for school tomorrow. Like those are the things that we were taught.
Yeah.
And we were forced to. You know what I'm saying? Because we got tired of dirty clothes. Like, well, we got to wash it. Okay, well, fuck it. We about to figure out something.
And then, like, early childhood, too, like, in the household, the oldest child, it was like a written rule that the oldest child had to make sure all the young ones were straight.
Yeah.
And so
shout out to my brother Keith.
It's like you're in the house, you're making sure dinner, you're making sure homework, you're making sure the house is straightened up, and and then you got in trouble if it wasn't. Like these your kids. You know what I'm saying? And that was like another rule, that swept up under the rug. Like, why am I getting, penalized for not taking care of your kid? You know what I'm saying? Why not you cook dinner? But okay, I'm grown enough, I'm old enough, I'm forced to make the food, or I gotta make the food for the kids, or I gotta make sure. It's just like, why was that rule for the oldest to take care, the young ones? It's like it freed your parents' time up, but it took yours. So now you wasn't even able to be a kid. You gotta grow up fast. You gotta take care of your siblings. You can't enjoy being a kid outside. You can't do what other kids do because you too busy being grown.
We ain't had no structure, baby. We was fucked up. Okay, we ain't had no bedtime. In our household, we ain't had no adult there. Like probably 90% of the time, no adult. It was us spending for ourselves, figuring out, what we're gonna eat, figuring out, protection from other people. Being the only girl around a whole bunch of boys, it was a lot of fighting. So just in that household, not having a confidence to ask for assistance because of being told and nobody's supposed to know.
That teaches you that, like growing up, not asking for help, not being willing to ask for help. Being willing to ask. I think for me that it did that as far as the ask for help for me, introduced a lot of shame for me with mine.
It prevents you from developing proper problem solving skills.
I know. I think I had problem solving skills. Like we had problem solving skills. I know how to because everything stayed in the house, so we had to figure out things. So I know how to light the water heater. We
Click
extension
the breaker.
cords. I know. I know if Shoot,
Use the water.
please go out my house. I know how to survive. I know. That's one thing.
That's what it's
or did it add to your problem solving skills?
It definitely added.
Most definitely, because that's one thing we had to like figure out things, on your own and like not sit in it or whatever. Just figure out how to do it. But it did introduce shame for me a lot. So I found myself as an adult, I hide a lot of stuff, right? And those things being hidden because it doesn't look nice. It doesn't look like like the best or whatever. So that stays hidden. And so I think that it introduced a lot of shame for me growing up because a lot of my the things that were kind of hidden, main thing that was hidden or like swept under the rug really in my space was just the poverty, thing, like not really having a lot of money. Not just being, in spaces where our home looked a certain way or, we had things. We had a whole bunch of stuff. My daddy was a hoarder. So we had some stuff. But it was just not like, up to par. So it introduced a lot of shame. And I remember the first time where like I recognized like this shame that I had, and mainly a lot of it was shame too also with my parents. My mom didn't drive, and I remember one time my dad drove, but at this time he didn't have a car, and I think I was on the way home from school and I was on the bus, and they got on the bus and I was in high school, and so you're a teenager, so I'm embarrassed because my both parents is getting on the bus, and I think I kind of like I got shied away with saying like that's not my parents kind of thing. So it's just different like things like that just introduce shame for me, not necessarily like protection as far as like what happens in this house stays in this house.
I don't think that protected me either. That same for me was
I think it was
cover up too.
Cover up,
for sure, cover up.
You know, it was just like wow, like, and it wasn't for the benefit of me, what I'm saying? It was always for the benefit of them. What was the things that was supposed to be left in the house? It didn't benefit us for not saying nothing, but it could have. Somebody could have found out. We could have got resources. It could have stopped earlier, whatever the things was, and it was like, oh, okay, I remember one time I was getting, because I got whoopings a lot, and I was getting I guess whooped or whatever, and I got slapped into the sink, and I had a black eye, I couldn't go to school or things like that. It was like, all right, gotta sit in the house for a thing. You can't say nothing about that. Or when we got whoopings, we got whooped with water hoses and, 2x4s and,
remote
what I'm
controls.
saying? Like, it was supposed to be okay. You know what I'm saying? So I barely touched my son now because it left a scar. Like, this was abuse, because it happened to them. It was said to be okay, and it wasn't looking at it like that. It was like this is discipline. But you don't have to discipline your kid like that with the amount of force that we were getting disciplined. And when I say I was bad, so I know I was acting out, but it's abuse. You know what I'm saying? Not an adult.
I was
it was
an AB
abuse.
student and got my fucking lip busted and shit. I had to lie my way home from Germany. You know what I'm saying? With my dad. So watch them beat up my stepmom. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why, again, why I am the way that I am with my son and women. I never put my hands on a woman. I despise dudes that do. Every time something happens to a woman, shit kills me, whether I know her or not. You know what I mean? Because it's like a trigger for me. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. So yeah, I mean, and that's something like, so one time, when I did tell somebody about it, told the school nurse about it, right? They told the military police, called the social worker, took us to the hospital, had the meeting in the separate rooms, the meeting together in the same room, sent us home, and you know what happened when we got home, right? So that's the reason why when the second time it happened, I had to stick to my lie. I told my dad my stomach was hurting. So I ended up going to the hospital. They giving me CAT scans and ultrasounds and all that. I'm still sticking to my lie. My stomach hurt. Oh, well, we're going to have to give you surgery and cut you open to see what's happening. I'm like, all right, 11 years old. Had my appendix taken out for nothing and shit because I was not going back to the house. Okay? And it was when I was on the surgery table and they seen all of the webs and all of the shit on me because I went to when I told him that my stomach was hurting. It was so he would stop whooping me because he came home from the commissary, which is the grocery store, and ran into one of my science teachers, and they said that I was a week behind on one of the projects, so he came home on Sergeant Slaughter mode. You know what I'm saying? So I'm staying at the hospital now. So when I had my surgery, and they seen all of the whips on my legs. Oh, well, what happened to you? What I know now was a medical detective. It wasn't a doctor talking to me then. Oh, well, what's going on? Did you playing with your friends rough and shit? And I'm like, yeah, I'm sticking to my lie still after surgery. But they eventually got it out of me. You know what I'm saying? And then on the way home, he slipped me his number. He said, well, you call me. If you're not on the plane back home to Detroit by Friday, you call me and your dad will be kicked out of the military. You'll be on the plane by Monday. Monday, October 3rd, 1993, I flew my ass back from Germany to Detroit.
That's another part that reinforces the what happens here, and even the lack of power that you have in that space too, because it's it stays here, but even if you go and try to tell somebody, right, those ways you can get shut down, and if it get back that you said something, right, that's even reinforcing that, so it takes away that power and agency you got.
I was a little snitch. Nobody never knew. My brothers, y'all gonna find out today. But it got to a point to where we was living really, really, really bad, to where I really contacted one of my friends and asked her mama to call CPS on us. You know what I'm saying? And she did. And my mom got a wind of it, came through. She ain't been home much. She came through, cleaned up everything, food, dinner, everything. I'm like, what's going on? CPS came knocking on the door. She like, come on in.
That's what she needed, that push. Like,
come on in.
You know,
hell no. She was gone as soon as
temporary.
they
It was before she did it
Beforehand.
Literally the day before or a few days before. I'm assuming they called her like, hey, we about to come out to the house or whatever. She came home. We cleaned up. We had good dinner, everything.
Food in the cabinets and everything.
The next day they came, and we all like, who is, and I knew. I'm like, oh, yeah, they about to come. And I'm like, damn. And she, they talk to you. They like, yeah, so happy when I'm sitting there. My mama just looking like, and I'm like, no, we good. Yes, I sleep every night good. Yeah, I have my bed upstairs. And then they left, and she left right behind them, and then was gone. And all of that, we try to make everything we had last until, we couldn't no more, until she decided to come back and help us out. But I just, I wish I was a little more vocal, not just for me, but for my brothers as well. When I was young, I was considered a runaway because I didn't want to sit in that. Like, I just couldn't. Being the only girl out of boys, my brothers was rough. They like, yeah. I'm like, I don't like this. I want to be warm. I want to wash up. I need my body clean. I don't like this. So, yeah, and it's crazy because of that same image that my mama tried to do. She kept it. So anytime I left, my mama know exactly where I was at, and the police will come and they'll be like, oh yeah, she said you was here, and I'm like, y'all really don't see. She know where I'm at. She telling y'all where I'm at, but she saying that she don't know where I'm at. Yeah. Like, what does that don't make sense to y'all?
I think that's interesting too. That with that the cover up and things being swept on the rug, and then kids respond to it, right? Yeah. And you're responding to that, but then it becomes the kid.
Everybody, my whole family, right? She the bad.
She a runaway. She's the bad one.
But
she's
it's like you don't know what I'm running away from,
and nobody's asking that question.
Nobody asks that. What are you running away? Why are you running away from home? Why do you not want to be there?
That's what a lot of these so-called missing kids or kidnapped kids, right? Yeah. A lot of these kids are not missing, right? They're running away. Now, some of them may be fast, quote unquote, and out here doing stuff they don't have no business. But that's the question we need to be asking.
I think a question even needs to be asked, even just with the that idea of girls being fast. That's still something to question right there, because that's not just a.
I don't feel like
that's
it's
just not
normal.
a thing.
I don't
that's
feel
not
like
a
it's natural.
That's not a That's not something's going on. Something's happening.
When I
started
being caught fast and being looked at as a fast girl, I was already being touched on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was already being touched on, and nobody knew that. So when it was like, oh, her hips spread it, or or sit down, or you smelling yourself, and it was like, yeah, I am. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm being touched on. But you're looking past that. You don't see. You're not even asking the right questions. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like,
shit, back then, one motherfuckers asking questions at all.
Everything else was like, you're taking away stuff because now you think I'm fast. So cell phone. Now you got to be in the house. Now you're making it restricted where you think you're restricted, but you're only allowing the access. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The person access.
The two missing twins.
I was about to say that they was found in the hotel with the dude.
And then when they found them, when they found them,
they didn't want to leave.
Yeah, they didn't want to. What they said was when the cop first asked them, why did y'all run away? And we don't want to talk about it. We don't want to talk to you, right? And then when they were in the car, and they brought up, they said, well, if we don't want to go back home, who do we talk to? What do we do if we don't want to go back home?
I asked that same question.
So what is it that they're trying to stay away from? Is it strict? Is it the strictness? You know what I'm saying? They're trying to keep them.
See, that's the part that's under the rug. That's the part that's under the rug. That's the part that's being hidden.
So many assumptions.
Yeah.
We can have so many things that can come to our mind, but you never know.
I mean, sometimes I'm not saying restriction
know.
as a good thing. Sometimes that it can be restriction to the point of abuse.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
So to just be like, they fast, that's like an understatement.
Yeah,
because I'm not talking, but it's a backstory to that. It's a reason why they fast. Somebody done something to make them fast. They've been such a certain way, and now they craving it again. And so their movements
or
and things
open to a certain
fast.
type of atmosphere.
You know what I'm saying?
And now I'm going to go somewhere to somebody who dare I say it like this, but who I want to have that type of situation with, as opposed, you know what I mean, somebody who like in my family who's forcing themselves.
And then too, when it's like you're being abused, like you act out, you do it more so. You enjoy when you can control it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. So being able to like, all right, I want to fuck with you. This who you become more. What is it? Promiscuous.
Because you already over sexualized.
You come more of that because now it's like
by an adult, right? You're over sexualized. You know what I'm saying? And then you're
gonna
encountered
find
by an adult, and it's making you uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's like I feel grown now, so I'm gonna go find somebody else to do it with that I feel comfortable with doing it with. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna keep that away from the house.
And I can control. And I can I agree. I get. And so that's why it seemed like she's being fast. She just opening up, and it's power in her being able to choose.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And what and where and when, instead of being forced.
Yeah,
some of these girls are fast because they've been sped up by somebody.
And you know what's crazy? Because I don't even like using the term.
Me neither.
Fast.
Me neither. Me neither.
In order, even when it comes to
because I was told
people that do
that's why I said it like that, because it's like it's induced. It's not her fault.
Even when it comes to the people that are doing the molesting, you are taught that. Like, ain't no
Somebody
way you gonna tell me.
Like,
it was an incident that happened with my daughter. My daughter probably was like 1 year old, right? And she came to me. You know how you kiss your kids? And you know how in the movies people kiss, they turn their head. So she went to go kiss me, and she turned. I said, "Why you do that?" And she was like, "Oh, well, her sister on her dad's side was telling her, like, I guess she snuck a little boy in, whatever." And she was like, yeah, she had her friend there, and they was kissing. And when I walked in, they said that's what people do when they love each other. And I just want to show you I love you. And I said, no, baby. Let me go ahead and break this down. So I had to have a conversation with her and then a conversation with her dad. And one thing I said is that man made sure he was like, you got to get the fuck out. Like, literally that day, I was like, damn. Like, the little girl, like 13, 14, but hey, do what you got to do to protect our child.
And that's an important piece right there is like speaking up and bringing that to the forefront, like really calling like people out, on things versus keeping that cycle of just like hidden and things like that.
I feel like if our generation is when we were younger had a voice, things could be different now.
And then it was also being scared of whatever changes would have if you said
After
something,
that,
knowing that life as you knew it would change. You still, even people to their attacker, they still got some type of attachment to them. And so like if you're getting hurt, if you're getting hurt by somebody like in the home, you still got that attachment to them. You still don't want to see them hurt. And so knowing what you got to say, knowing what's going on with you, if you open your mouth, if you tell somebody, it's going to rip the whole family apart.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to tear everything down. Life as we knew it is not going to be the same for nobody. And so you hold on to that too because you like, I don't want to be the reason. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to get blamed.
I don't want to be the reason. You know what I'm saying? Everything go boom. You know, and
because that's going to be the response. It's going to be the symptom of like you saying something versus this is like this bad thing is happening. Like this person is doing this thing to this person, but it's going to be focused on you of like you
because you said something. Why you say that? Why you know what you done? What about this person's life? And it was like, wow, it's not going. Y'all not gonna seek the help, you're just gonna be like, oh, it's me. It's gonna become the problem again, and so a lot of people don't speak up. And it gets swept up under the rug, and it continue to happen, and then they eventually touch somebody, and then it continue to happen. That's how you have family curses because nobody is speaking up.
That attachment part is like real significant, like because it's like this person is the person that's supposed to love me, or this is the person that I do love. And so sometimes this is like really instinctual to like protect them, even though you were hurt. Because I remember that happening with me when my dad had hit me, and I went to school the next day. And people were asking me about my face, like, you know, what was wrong with my face, like what happened. And like instinctually I said I ran into a refrigerator. Like I was like, I did. I was just like, yeah, I hit the refrigerator door. Yeah, I didn't think about like the lie, but it was just like more so of just like, okay, like cover up, and then like after like saying that maybe a couple times of like being hit with the refrigerator, I was like, my dad hit me in my face, and like I just like opened up and just said it. But it was really like, okay, this person's supposed to protect me, it's supposed to love me, and we're family. Right, like, so I gotta protect them too, because we're family.
And you know that saying is blood thicker than water. You wanna know what's thicker than blood? Oil.
Boy,
shut the fuck up. Oh my God,
burn that bitch down. Oil. Don't nobody wanna be the match starter. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to
like
be
that, fire up that whole family.
Don't nobody want to do that. And so it's a lot of sweeping up under rugs and a lot of black families out here. And if they start lifting them, you'll be like, damn. Damn. You know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of people wouldn't fuck with each other.
How long this was going on, you know, and then a lot of people will be understood. Then you will be able to understand why.
Then the healing process can start.
Because, you know, it's like abuse is serious, whether it's sexual or whether it's physical. You know, people, those leave permanent marks.
Like, it took me, I had to get older to realize that, because like I have friends that had got like raped and all that stuff, and it was just like physical, like that type of physical. Intercourse type of physical, where it's molestation, where it don't have to be intercourse. It's just any type of sexual act towards you, or feeling or touch towards you, and that it's like, damn, I was definitely that victim.
So even with that, like when we talk about sweeping things under the rug, meaning like things aren't talked about, even stuff like that, like never being talked about as a kid, like about sex or like, you know, what's healthy and what's not, like not even being able to recognize like that you could be a victim in those spaces, like, you know, like sexual, you know, molestation, or even like what is it called, it's a specific term for it. Incest. No, what she was specifically talking about, like if you can be in a relationship with somebody, but they can still rape you, even though like, you're not consent, right? But people like sometimes like, oh, it's automatic because this is my girlfriend or this is my wife, kind of thing. And so like even things like that, not having even space to like really like talk about things, it didn't create safety.
Even though in that time it's like you don't know it's wrong,
right?
So
especially whenever it was opened up, it was never talked about.
So it's just like, oh, this is normal. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, you 7, 6 years old, stuff happening, you just like, okay, this is normal. But it's not. Now that's why I said I didn't realize that until I got older.
And you realize, like, damn, that was wrong, or this has happened. You're fucked up.
Yeah. You know, I think what else adds to, for some people in some households, like what adds to that cover up is like things like religion and Christianity. So, you know, a lot of things wasn't talked about, like, you know, especially in regards to like sex. You know, in my home, because it was just like, don't get pregnant. Right. And like, and that was a sin. Like, you gonna go to hell. That was it. Like, you gonna go to hell if you
not allowing you
like, or not allowing. You know. And so a lot of things can happen even under that guise, because even not even talking about it, because if you were molested, and let's say you under like Christianity, and it say if you have sex you're gonna go to hell, you're not gonna tell nobody because you don't want to go to hell. Right. You know, as a kid, not really understanding, like, you know, not having that power in that space.
It was just really, really, you know, what I do for me, appreciate from my childhood, taught me a lot. And that's where, before we was talking about parenting, and that's what it taught me, to make sure that my kids understand that we have safe words. It's okay to talk to me about anything, be open, and to explain. Like, I was just talking to my friend Bria about having that sex conversation with my kids, and she was like, well, I ain't ready for it. I said, I had it. I had it with my kids. I had to, because I got 2 little girls. You know,
I already started having it with my son.
And having boys, it's important as well.
My boy told me he really liked the girl, and you know, body parts, and So yeah,
I think so. You guys, you're in a space with your own kids where like all those things are open, like or none of that rug is tripping over, or are you quieting down about some things and not say?
What I will say is what's I feel like is their age appropriate. That's what I'll say when it comes to that communication. As they get older, the more I start opening the area of what I'm talking about when it comes to family and what love is, and it's like that famous term back then, like, yeah, you say I'm gonna kill your mama. They be like, I don't care, no, like you ain't listen. I'm here to protect you. If something happens to me, it's because I was protecting you. I need you to know that you can trust me. I'm your mom, and I'm here to protect you from anybody, everybody, your own sibling. You know what I'm saying? That's those things where I had to break it down. Like, y'all, I really, and I think that came from realizing that I was touched on, not in an intercourse way where actually, but I had to pretty much break that down for my kids to be like, nobody's supposed to touch this. Yeah. Nobody, not even mommy, daddy. When you were at this age, you're a big girl, so you've been taught this up until this point. So at this point, nobody should be touching you.
So you shared your traumas with your daughters?
No, that's why I said no. I didn't share everything. I feel like when it's become age appropriate, then I will. I have no problem with sharing that with them because I want them to know. That's the main thing. Like, our parents was like, well, we telling you this because we grown, we been there. Yeah. I want them to understand the actual trauma I went through to prevent from them. Yeah. Like, hey, I did this way because I was a victim at some point, and I'm just trying to steer you from being that same way.
I think we were growing up. We were in my household, like, kind of like sheltered from a lot. Like, we didn't see. So, talking about sex and stuff with me, when I started talking about sex or that talk, it was already too late because I was already having sex, not on my own though. You know what I'm saying? So nobody had the conversation with me. It was just introduced to me. So I think what I would do differently with my son is like incest, the physical abuse, all that it was covered up in my family. It wasn't told. Wasn't like, okay, this person done this to steer away or to know if this person got help. It wasn't none of that. And so what I do with my son, I let him know everything, what's going on. Like, he's 5, he understand like a lot. Like, I don't tell him too much where he don't understand, but I let him aware of if I know something, that's going on or happened, or this person is accused of this or something, I'm letting my son know, so he can know how to act or what to look out for, and he can watch himself around this person. We didn't have that option as kids. We were just brung around.
Go over there and hug Uncle Mark.
Yeah, and Uncle Mark. Yeah. Touching on people.
Yeah.
Right. So, you heard the story.
Yeah.
It was like they never told us.
My name in that shit.
I'm sorry, Uncle Marcus.
Look, they never told us who was going through or who were doing things. It was swept up under the rug. Yeah. And then when you run into the problem, it was too late. Yeah. Because now you know what I'm saying? Now you're the problem.
Yeah, and
it didn't
prevent anything.
It didn't create any safety in there, right? Like that. They're not having that part because I can't speak up. I can't say anything about it. If I do say something, then I may get hurt. And then I'm also taught now how to navigate this. Yeah. Right? So you're just powerless all the way through. Yeah.
So what I learned, my house when it came to my mom wasn't structured at all. But I was raised by my aunt Tanya, and she was the one who was able to make sure that I understood, I need to eat and then go to bed. I need to shower before I get in the bed. I need to get up and brush my teeth. Like, she gave me that structure. And the reason why I had to go back to my mom because she passed. And then it was like, oh, hell no. They thought I was about to sit in that. I'm sorry, family. I got the fuck home. Like, no, I know what it feels like to have a nice home cooked meal, to sit down and watch a movie with my aunt, to be told a story, to be read to. I experienced those things. So once leaving from that to a situation to where you don't have nothing, it was like, what type of love is this? Yeah. What is this? I don't want it. I don't.
The saying, what happened in this house stays in this house. It prevented you from getting the resources or the help that you really need. And it covered up for the parents. You know, it's like you couldn't seek help. it was like, okay, I'm for the family. I'm with the family. And so if I say something to somebody outside of this family, I'm hurting the family. So keep it in the house. And I feel like that's why everybody got rugs. It was just swept up under, and you was made to think everything is okay. So going into your adulthood and shit that was swept up under the rug, you like, oh, this is okay. This is okay. You don't know until you like, fuck. Like, this shit is really
so
not
even
okay.
like things like in your relationships that you have with, this is okay, this you kind of like pass on.
Yeah,
things,
I'm
like accepting
figuring out
things.
now, like,
Yeah.
the reasons why some of the relationships, why I have problems with it. It's like, because I still need work, because
Yeah.
I'm hurt. It's like, I have a really problem with connecting and, like, in the relationship type way. Is because, like, I really, like, low-key hate a man. It's like, but it's like I have my needs and my wants. Like, if it was just that, I'd be cool with that. But I also want to be loved, So it's like I be conflicted with because of how, I was introduced with it. It's like it's a give and a take with me, So it's like I don't know. It did make me who I am, but I feel like it's scars.
I feel like, I feel like it helped you as you got older. Now, like you said, when you parent, you make sure you're open with your son. You make sure what I do question as far as my family is, where were those people that knew? Like, did anybody really know?
Somebody knew, not saying nothing.
Like, I remember I was told by
Talking about you.
somebody when I was doing when I was doing a runaway, everybody in my family, they didn't understand why. They never asked me. They just like, she always running away. She always this. It was never a why. Why are you leaving? Why you don't want to be there? And I was told that I was fast because I was fucking with bitches at that time. I wasn't even, but I was told I was fast and all type of stuff. I was told I was going to be pregnant at 14, 15 and all that stuff. I didn't have a kid, so I was 23.
I had
but
mine at 28.
But those things that were put on us because of what happened to us.
Yeah.
Like, you put it on me, oh, you're bad, you're this, because whatever's happening at home make you don't want to be there.
A result.
You know what I'm saying?
That fast was a result of the climate that was at home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't have seen a lot of stuff that I saw if I was able to have a home to go to.
So
if I was able to be in my home, in my bed, ready for school, fed, playing with my brothers, a lot of stuff I would never witness. You know what I'm saying? When my mama lived in this apartment building off of Woodward, on Seward, and we was it was at the top, and we all literally witnessed this man get shot in his head right in front of our door. Like, we was out there and they heard them arguing. Instead, my mama like, get away from the window. She out the window too. Like, what's going on? What's going on? And dude got shot right in his head.
I feel like I would discipline my son more if I didn't feel as it was bad, because I got disciplined so extreme. I feel like I don't want to put him through that. You know what I'm saying?
Same type,
yeah. And then it's just like. It was abuse. It was like physical, like it was like, y'all, we got beat. You know what I'm saying? I really touched my son because it's like, I don't want to be that angry because I'm angry if I have to hit him. And I don't want to be that angry that I hit him too hurt or I really hurt him, because that's how our parents were. They were angry. And so they whooped us when they was angry, and it was like they would really hurt us.
And you know what? That's something I did. I learned to give myself some time before I chastise my kids in general.
I can't do it
because I know
I'm
up front
angry.
I'll be pissed, and I'll be like, you know what? Let me get a minute. Let me have a talk with you. But I give them options. So I'm like, okay, so now this right, this wrong. So I'm not gonna tell you the consequences, but no, it's gonna be bad. And they test me. It's like, oh, okay. I learned from my uncle. Holding your arms up, holding the waters in the bathtub with one leg up, military style. Yes, I definitely chastise my kids in that way.
You're not going to like me if I'm angry. And so I try not to chastise them or discipline them when I'm angry. Because it's like I seen it and I watched it with my parents, how quick shit can escalate,
Yeah.
I was sneaking in the closet trying to look for Christmas gifts, and I walked over the shoes, my mom's shoes, in the closet at the time, and she came home. I was getting in trouble, and she choked me till I passed out. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. It was like, wow, and then stuff from the blinds and whelps. It was like, this is a different type. And so that really put a scar on me, like, to how I discipline my son. It's just like those things that wasn't said.
Hitting me up by my collar, shaking me, backhanded me in my lip. Boom. bust my lip and shit. You know what I mean? Little shit like that. You got to watch how rough you are and shit with your kids
with the
and
kid,
shit. You know what I
because
mean?
you can do something out of anger. So that it taught me, a lot, but it also scarred me, that rug shit. So
I feel like, as far as like my healing journey, it came with a lot of, taking accountability for other people and just holding them accountable and understanding like they might not feel like they was wrong, or they might feel like this, like even when it comes to who touched me, because that person probably was getting touched as well, or touched by somebody else. And the thing is like these family secrets and these curses and stuff, and it's like it go on because nobody is okay with, like you said, lighting that fire.
And the longer
nobody is okay with doing
the
that.
longer the hurt. You can't begin to heal if nobody likes the match.
How do you safely go about doing that, right? Like, because we've been talking about like there is this consequence or this response that can happen when you being that person, and then you can be that like isolated
you
black
just gotta
sheep
be okay
kind of thing.
with being
Oh,
isolated.
that's exactly why I am that on my dad's side of my family.
You have to. I'm like that with my entire family.
like
I'm
that now,
always
so
because I was always
Vocal
labeled
about
as that. Oh, she fast, and she always run away. But yeah, I was running away because I wasn't finna sit in this shit like everybody else. I'm sorry. Once I knew that it was a better, I'm about to try to get the better. I don't want this.
Most definitely.
Oh, I know I can go over here over my friend's house and her mama cooking steaks, baby. I'm going over there. Sorry, bros. I love y'all, but I'm out.
What people need to understand is when they're lifting the rug, it's to heal. It's to start the healing process. Because as long as the shit is up under the rug, nobody know. How can you solve a problem you don't know? You don't know exists. You don't know exists. You know what I'm saying?
I think for not all, but I think for some people, because it's been so like normalized to like just sweep it under the rug. Like sometimes we just don't know how to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I can say that for my mom. Some things that, she's not really a verbal person. Like, she's not going to have full-on conversations with you. But, like, I just, what was the last year or the year before last? I had brought something up to her, about my experiences in childhood and, like, how it affects me now in my adulthood. And really, like that was the first time I, like, really, like, talked about it. Because I was really, like, affected and really upset. And she was open to, she was like, and she said her words, like, she's like, I didn't know. She's like, I don't know. And something she just didn't know how to talk about it. So I think that just taking that step, just to open it up, to be like, okay, we need to hold space for this. We need to talk about these things, even if it happened. Because it happened, right? Like, and sometimes, we don't know how to put words to it, right?
Yeah, I was grateful that I was able to have that conversation with my mom literally before she died. And I came to her, and it started off with why did you let me stay in this situation? Because I was with my ex-girlfriend. Mind you, I was young. I was with her when I was 14 up to 21. She was grown as hell. And I had questioned her. I said, why did you let me stay with this woman? And she was like, well, because you was taken care of. And I'm like, okay. And she was like, I realized I wasn't doing my part. You had to go somewhere else. You had to. You found, what you needed.
Yeah. And
I'm not finna come in now and interrupt it. But in my head, I'm like, damn, you my mama. Like, you chilling with us. We partying together. Like, you still supposed to be my mama. And my mama had told me, she was like, yeah, I was a little jealous of you because you had a voice and because you would stand up, because you didn't take no for an answer,
and
because
you didn't know how.
Yeah, she didn't know how, and she was able to tell me certain things that happened to her and her siblings as far as her childhood, to where I had to come to, okay, you ain't know how to love me because you never got loved. You didn't know how to do these things because it didn't happen to you. You weren't taught that.
Right.
So that's when all that resentment, that anger that I had for my mama, it was just like,
it kind of lifted up.
How I'm kind of looking
like,
at it
damn.
with my family. Like, they didn't know or don't think it was abuse because it was happening to them.
Yeah.
Nobody said nothing, and it was just like, oh, it's okay for so many years, and it's gonna take like my generation, like, hell no. You know what I'm saying? That shit abuse. I think my generation now, like, we barely touch our kids. We got some bad motherfucking kids. We got some the
best kids.
Like,
we got some ownership. They know how to speak about their feelings. They like, they know how to. This is
know what I found though?
Yeah.
when I was teaching the Job Corps students, when I first started teaching the podcast workshops with the Job Corps students, you know what I'm saying? Some of these kids that come off like they may be, rough or don't know as much as we think they know.
Oh, they do.
Once you get into their minds and the things they
They
talk,
do.
I'm like, I was actually surprised and impressed and proud.
Yeah, they're very
yeah,
they're
and from the things
very
that they
much
knew
aware,
from
connected.
from community stuff to political stuff to even the things that they shared about their own personal life and their experiences, man. And from that, I began to see why they developed to be the roses from the concrete that they came. You know what I mean? So it was just an experience. I mean, just starting that off and seeing kids at that age, on that level, and where their minds was at.
This has been a good topic for me. I think this is very on time. So I go to New York this Friday, and my dad lives in New York.
Okay.
And I haven't talked to my dad in 2 years. And I need to talk to him. I need to lift the rug on some stuff. Yeah, and I need to talk to him. The thing is, like, when I'm, which is again, like, where we have these barriers to us, like, really speaking or, like, really saying things. My dad is a narcissist. And that's a difficult, like, basis to start off. Yeah, to start off with, with lifting the rug, because one of the things with narcissism is, like, the inability to take accountability.
Oh my God.
They only take accountability when it make them look good.
Yeah.
Not when it's not this bad stuff. So, I've been really trying to figure out how to navigate through that, like, these last, couple years, because now my son is asking me, he said to me, I thought you ain't had no daddy. I was like, I'm like, yeah, I got a daddy. He's like, oh, okay. And so he's asking questions or whatever. And so even when you were talking about, Brooke, as far as, like, talking to your kids about, like, or you talking about to your kids about how to navigate these people or whatever, that I have to, like, figure out how to communicate that to my son, because, like, to tell him, oh, your granddaddy is a narcissist. It's like, it's like, and even navigating that is, like, a little, So this was really, like, very apropos, this topic today. Cause I plan to reach out to him before I get to New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I reach out to him before I get to New York to say, hey, I'm coming, I would like you to have, because I kind of don't want what I want to communicate to him is that I don't want a, like, full relationship, because it's too much. And, like, I would like it to be on a space where, like, I say in connection and contact with you, but it's not, like, no, like, every day or every week, maybe once a month, because my dad is a narcissist. It's really difficult, and he's an alcoholic too that doesn't know that he doesn't think he is. So it's a lot, with that. So I appreciate this conversation to this part one, because there's so much that we can, like, really, like,
it's a lot that we're getting from under that rug.
Yeah.
Okay. And I do hope, that the family members that do watch this, my family members, that y'all actually take and listen, what I'm saying, like, really listen. And all those judgments that was placed on me, on who I am and why I am and how I am the way I am now, is be based off of what they thought or what they think. But it's like, know me. Know me.
I know we're gonna have a part 2, but we were just talking about things that be going on in the inside of the home, and domestic violence is another big thing that gets swept up under the rug. Watching your parents or somebody in the home with domestic violence as well, and I experienced that, and I got up from up under the rug. I talked about it. I finally said something, but a lot of people don't, and that's another topic that gets swept up on the rug. We're gonna have a part 2 to go into that a little more.
I think there's gonna be a few parts.
I said earlier, part 1 to 7.
Part 1 to 7.
That is another thing. It's just swept up on the rug, and a lot of people go through hell in relationships and inside the home. And wake up the next day and just go about their day. And it caused a lot of pain and hurt. And a lot of people out here hurting from that and getting swept up under the rug, too. So,
yeah. Well, we lifting.
Yeah, we
one corner
lifting.
at a time. Okay, one corner
oh,
at
this
a
a
time.
corner. We ain't going like this.
And we're using
We gotta
a little bit at a time.
a little
we
bit at a
lifting,
time and
we're
sweep
sweeping,
some out.
and we're dumping.
And
And we're
dumping,
right in the
lifting,
trash,
sweeping, and
baby.
dumping.
We're
And that's
freeing
that's
ourselves.
freeing
Yeah.
ourselves to and allow ourselves to be completely healed.
Yeah.
To actually heal from it. You know, I feel like that's
Because it can't sit no more. You know, it can't lay dormant.
The more
no
you
more.
grow, the
'Cause
more
we
you
don't-
gotta let shit go.
Yeah.
It gotta
Grow,
go.
let it go. You gotta go, let it go.
Yeah, because you can't keep tripping over that same rug.
You
You're gonna keep
can't.
falling and busting our
You
lips.
Move the fucking rug.
And move the rug. Ain't no more rugs. I just got hardwood floors in here. Ain't no.
Fuck sweep. Move
Shit.
the fucking
So you can
rug.
feel
Take a curtain
so you
off
can,
the window.
so you can feel the crumbs under your feet when you walk. And you sleep it.
Please, it's been a nice conversation,
Yes,
y'all. We
yes,
love you guys.
yes. Love
Remember,
on yourself.
take care of yourself.
Be kind to
Love
yourself.
Love yourself and
Yeah.
each other. This
Yes.
is
My Sis Podcast.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.